Speaking of Trump and trouble, Trump is scheduled to be deposed today. The backstory on this is that throughout his presidency, all sorts of complaints were made, legal complaints were made against Trump, many of them for sexual assault allegations. But the whole point of Trump's being president was, among other things, to say, oh, no, I'm too busy being president to actually be deposed. And the records need to be kept secret, executive privilege, all these different things. This may very quickly be changing. Donald Trump faces a pile of civil lawsuits as depositions begin. Listen to this. Trump is defending himself in at least 10 civil suits alleging fraud and defamation to incitement of violence. Former President Trump has been ordered to answer questions under oath in a lawsuit today, and his attorneys could set a date for a deposition in another case as well. The lawsuits involving allegations that his security guards roughed up protesters outside Trump Tower in New York and allegations of defamation by former Apprentice contestant Summer Zervos, respectively, are just two cases in the mass of civil litigation Trump faces post-presidency. At least 10 civil cases are pending against Trump, whose ability to delay them has been curtailed since he left office in January. Trump has argued in some of the cases that as a sitting president, he was immune from civil lawsuits. His office didn't respond to a request for comment on the cases. Here's a rundown of the major civil suit, where the major civil suits stand. So you've got Summer Zervos. That's a name we've talked about before. She's been pushing for this for years, and hopefully now it's actually going to happen. Zervos was a contestant on season 5 of The Apprentice, says Trump smeared her by calling her a liar during his campaign. In 2016, after she accused him of having subjected her to unwanted kissing and groping when she was seeking career advice in 2007. An attorney for Trump declined to comment. Trump's attorneys have said that his statements were true, and they plan to file a counter suit. Protesters at Trump Tower. Also Monday, attorneys for protesters who allege Trump's bodyguards assaulted them during a demonstration in 2015 were set to question Trump. Trump said in an affidavit in 2016, he doesn't know anything about it. He wasn't directly involved in hiring security. His attorneys tried to spare him from testifying for years, including when he was president. But the judge now said his testimony was indispensable. The videotape deposition was being conducted inside Trump Tower, where 6 protesters were demonstrating in September of 2015, and they would be used as testimony when the case goes to trial. You've also then got E. Jean Carroll suing Trump for defamation. That may require Trump to be deposed and give testimony. That was transferred to federal court last year after the Justice Department sought to intervene, saying, no, Trump's immune because the statements are part of his official responsibilities. There's going to be arguments heard in December. There could be deposition dates set there. Business investors. I mean, this could be a decade for Donald Trump. Trump, his children, Eric, Don Jr., and Ivanka, and his company are also being sued in the same courthouse by a group of people who say the family conned them into making bad investments in businesses the Trumps were promoting. That's another one that could lead to depositions. Mary Trump, Trump's niece, alleges the family defrauded her out of millions of dollars from her grandfather's estate, and allegedly involving Donald Trump. So that one's going on. And then January 6th, Trump has been hit with at least 4 lawsuits by Democratic lawmakers and Capitol police officers over the January 6th riots. Trump attorneys maintain he's immune. He was president at the time. The speech that allegedly incited the riot was protected by the First Amendment. We want cases dismissed, and depositions have not yet been scheduled. There's also some voting rights related claims which could lead to depositions at some point in time. This is a crazy amount of stuff. Now, even if Trump successfully manages to beat off having to be deposed in the vast majority of these, this is an unconscionable amount of legal bills. Now, these are really legal bills which Donald Trump should have to pay personally. This is a topic where we've seen Matt Gaetz use campaign funds to cover legal expenses early on now in the possible upcoming charges against him. Would there really be consequences to Trump if he uses that grifted money supposedly raised to fight election fraud, to pay for legal expenses? I don't know. I know you're not allowed to do it, and it's against federal election law, but there have not exactly been repercussions to many members of Congress and various politicians for doing that, using donated funds for personal legal expenses. So I don't really know. It wouldn't shock me that Trump tries to do it, and it wouldn't shock me if Trump gets away with it, quite frankly. So we're going to continue monitoring that. And in the midst of all this, Donald Trump is now asking you to donate $45 to him to fight election fraud, which, if you fall for it at this point, I mean, you're really disconnected from reality. But we'll talk about that a little bit tomorrow. We'll take a quick break. After the break, we're going to talk about Ted Cruz's latest statements about the Australian COVID guidelines, which by and large have worked very well. We're going to talk about the resurrection, not the wrong term, right? The resurrection of the war on Christmas. And we've got much more upcoming after this short break. One of our sponsors today is Blue Chew, a unique online service delivering the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis in a chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. And they're giving my audience an entire month's supply for free. So if you think you could benefit from an extra boost of confidence when it's time, all you have to do is take a short quiz on their website. A licensed doctor approves your prescription. The medication comes straight to your home within days in a discreet package. No driving around to the doctor's office or the pharmacy. No waiting around. No awkward conversations with your doctor. All of Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA. The entire process is just a few clicks. Go to bluechew.com. The link is underneath this video. They'll give you an entire month's supply for free when you use the promo code PACMAN. All you have to do is pay $5 shipping.